All right, let's talk about something that can literally make or break your website, whether you're running a local blog or a giant online store. We're diving into website security. And more importantly, we're going to uncover that critical link between having a secure site, earning your visitors' trust, and actually succeeding online. So let's get right into it. Think about it for a second. The moment someone lands on your site, they're making an instant judgment call. It's a split-second pass or fail test. And a huge, huge factor in that test is whether they feel safe. That single moment, it decides everything. Whether they stick around and explore, or if they just hit that back button and vanish forever. And this really gets to the heart of it all. On the left, you've got your standard HTTP site, which browsers like Chrome will slap with that big, scary, not secure warning. And on the right, you have an HTTPS site, showing off that nice, reassuring little padlock. The visual difference is tiny, right? But the psychological impact is massive. Let's break down what this really means, starting with your visitors. See, this isn't just a technical detail that nerds care about. It's a human one. When a visitor feels like your site is unsafe, you pay a real penalty. You lose their trust, and that has immediate, real-world consequences for your business. The psychology here is pretty simple, actually. This quote from our source material just nails it. We are all hardwired to avoid risk. So when someone sees a not secure warning, it triggers that basic instinct. It creates doubt, hesitation, and it makes them way less likely to do anything, whether that's filling out a form, buying something, or even just sticking around to read your stuff. And here's what that looks like when you look at the data. That not secure warning pops up, and bam, visitor trust just tanks. And what happens next? Your bounce rate, that's the percentage of people who leave after seeing just one page, it goes through the roof. They show up, they see the warning, and they're gone. But it's not just your visitors you need to worry about. And that brings us to this second major problem. It's not just about losing the visitors you already have, it's about failing to get new ones in the first place. An insecure site can basically make you invisible on Google. So to really get this, we need to quickly define what a ranking factor is. Just think of it like an item on a giant checklist that search engines like Google use. They scan your site for hundreds of these little signals. Things like how good your content is, if it works on a phone, how fast it loads, and all of that helps them decide where to rank you. The more boxes you check, the better you do. So here's the punchline. Google themselves have flat out said that security, specifically HTTPS, is one of those ranking signals. And this isn't some new thing. They made this official all the way back in 2014. They want to send their users to websites that are safe and trustworthy. So if your site is secure and your competitors isn't, well, you get a small but really important edge in those search results. Okay, so we've laid out all of the problems, the penalties for being insecure. Now let's flip it around and talk about the solution. Because HTTPS isn't just a technical fix, it's a promise. It's a promise to your users, and it's a promise to search engines. It solves both the trust problem and the ranking problem in one go. So what in the world is HTTPS? Well, that S on the end just stands for secure. The simple version is that it creates a private, encrypted tunnel between your visitor's web browser and your website. It means any information they share with you, from a name and email to credit card numbers, gets scrambled up so hackers can't intercept it and read it. And that little padlock icon, it's doing a lot of heavy lifting. It's not just a symbol, it's basically a bundle of promises. It instantly tells a visitor, hey, your data is safe here. It says the business running this site is professional and cares about your security. And most importantly, it says it's safe to engage with us. Go ahead and sign up, buy something, get in touch. Now, the really good news here is that securing your website is probably a lot more straightforward than you think. This isn't some crazy, insurmountable technical mountain you have to climb. So let's just walk through the actual steps you need to take. Here's your 5-step game plan. First, you get an SSL certificate installed. That's what enables the encryption. Second, you make sure all your old HTTP traffic gets redirected to the new secure HTTP pages. Third, you do a quick sweep to update all your internal links so you don't get any weird errors. Fourth, you got to remember to renew that certificate every year. And finally, just keep an eye out for any security errors. See, it's a totally manageable process. Of course, this immediately brings up the big, practical question on everyone's mind. What's this going to cost me? Is this another major expense I have to worry about? And you are going to love this answer. For most websites, it costs absolutely nothing. Zero. So many web hosting companies now just include a basic SSL certificate for free as part of their standard plans. Now, sure, there are paid options if you're handling super sensitive data, but just to get that basic foundational padlock, it's very often free. So, as we wrap things up, I want to try and reframe this whole conversation. Securing your website isn't a cost. It's not a technical chore you have to check off a list. It is one of the single best investments you can make in your brand's most important asset, trust. So let's just recap the big takeaways. HTTPS protects your users' data. It's a confirmed Google ranking factor. It builds the trust you need to turn visitors into customers. It helps you avoid those ugly browser warnings. And at the end of the day, it's just a long-term, foundational investment in your brand's reputation. We've seen just how powerful that one little padlock icon can be, right? It's a fundamental signal of trust online. But it's really just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. And that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. If that padlock is one powerful signal of trust, what's another one you could be building on your site right now?